Good morning, tubers, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Danielle, and this is Discover Rescue. Dun, 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 dun. If you like anything to do with animals or travel or Airstream, well, this is the place for you. And you should definitely hit that little subscribe button. Cashew wants you to. Can you see Cashew? Or you just see his paw? That's my Cashew paw. Are you a puppy dog? Yes, you are. Right. So if you like anything to do with animals or travel or Airstreams, well, you should definitely hit that little subscribe button. Hit it. Hit it. I have to say that in every video. I'm sorry. But yeah, everybody says you have to say it in every video. So I shall. Be patient with me. I'm sure I'm going to get awkward. Today is going to be another Airstream related video. I figured that after 2 years of living in here full time, that the honeymoon period was definitely over, and I have a pretty good grasp on how things work and don't work and what's great and what's not so great about this beautiful thing. YouTube channels have a tendency of making the whole full-time RV living just look fantastically fabulous, and like everything is shiny and pretty and clean and new and fun and not stressful and nothing ever goes wrong, and very, very, very far from the truth. In fact, quite a few things usually go wrong all the time. I don't think there's ever been a drive where something hasn't gone wrong. I mean, from leaving one of the windows open once, whoops, at least we caught it within 5 minutes, to actually forgetting to connect our 6-way. Yeah, yeah, I did that. I did, yeah. Again, at least I figured it out right away. But with that said, I figured I would do a quick video on the 5 things I wish I had known before buying an Airstream. A few things I did not expect, honestly. Now, would any of these deter me from doing this again? Let me see. Do I really need to think about this? Nope. I would do it over and over and over again. And this little baby girl I call Thelma. I love her. Oh yeah, and she is a 2021 30-foot flying cloud. Bedroom in the back with a queen bed. I know a lot of people like to know that little fact. I'm not sure why. So let's get started. First things first, the windows. The windows are probably the thing that attracted me the most to Airstream, and I know probably one of the things that have attracted most people. But being that the Airstream is literally a tin can, an uninsulated tin can, the temps in here can be pretty dramatic and really hard to maintain at a constant level. And because of that, the smartest thing to do is really to close all your blinds and curtains, which kind of defeats the purpose of having all these beautiful windows. If the sun is beating really hard outside and you have the blinds open and it's hitting any surface in here, it will warm up that surface really quickly. So in the summertime, you want to try to avoid that. In the winter, actually, sometimes it feels kind of good to have the sun coming in like that. But if it's -7 degrees outside, you still want it closed. Basically, you sacrifice your window for comfort and for temperatures. Another thing to note about having so many windows is that you actually do sacrifice quite a bit of storage space. In other RVs where they don't have so many windows, they have cupboards everywhere. Where us, instead, we have windows. Now, if you're single like me and traveling in this thing, it's a 30-foot for a single lady. I have way more room than I need. In fact, it's actually a bad thing because I keep buying things because I have a place to put them, and I really shouldn't be doing that. But for example, on one of the forums I follow online, a lady ordered one, and the new model basically had the panoramic windows both in the front and in the back. And so in the bedroom, she lost 2 cupboards, and she lost her mind. And they were a family of 4 living in there full time, so I do very much understand her needing the space. But for me, that would have been a very happy mistake because I actually hate those 2 cupboards. And one more thing about the windows, they get really, really, really dirty. And they can actually be quite the pain in the behind to clean. And you have to clean them from the inside and the outside. And let's not talk about bug season. But yeah, I just took Kesh for a walk and then remembered that. And I definitely want to put that on here. Things will break. When we first bought the bed and breakfast, we went to a convention to kind of get a grasp on everything. And one of the classes there was everything always breaks. And it basically helped you learn how to deal with issues of breakage and whatnot without basically losing your damn mind, because that is literally when you're going to make the worst mistakes. And just because you paid a lot for it doesn't mean that things aren't going to break, or that it's always going to be Airstream's fault, or that everything should be covered under warranty and that they should fix it no matter what, and quickly and very cheaply, but still quality. Compose yourself. Most of the times when things are going to break, it's probably going to be your fault, and you might just be too proud to admit it to yourself or to others. But the quicker you can accept that fact, the more you can enjoy the trip. When you are driving your home down the highway at 65 miles an hour, things are going to rattle, things are going to pop out of place, screws are going to start unscrewing themselves. Yes, that happens. The door. Screen door, guys. Anytime you find a screw on the floor around your door, screen door, check it first. The two closest to the door right there. Yeah. Anywho. If you are the kind of person that will let something breaking ruin your day, then you need to stop right now, back up, and rethink. Because, I mean, that's part of the fun. I have actually really made it a point to try to take every disaster with a sense of humor and to just try to laugh my way through the problem. When you get mad, you get foggy, you get blinders, you get upset, you say things you don't mean or that you can't take back. We all know that. And basically you make the wrong choices. And not only that, when you're panicking and freaking out and you're on the road, you really don't have time for that. You've got to figure out a way to either fix it temporarily or fix it permanently and quickly so you can get back on the road or get to your campground before it's midnight. And sometimes it's honestly really not going to be easy to get something fixed, and that will get frustrating. You might have to move out of here for a day or two or a week or two. And the best thing I can recommend for a situation like that is already have a plan in place. Like maybe even just like a go bag that you don't have to worry about what you need to pull out of here and go stay in a hotel, and just be okay with the fact that you might stay in a hotel for a few days and not let it get to you negatively. One thing I should highly recommend is be kind. When you're in a stressful situation like that, it's easy to lash out, to be upset. But I have found that it is a lot easier to catch flies with honey. And the kinder you are to people, the more people are going to be helpful. The RV community is incredible. Anytime we've been at a campground, people have just helped us with anything we have needed help with. From backing up to fixing things to troubleshooting to teaching to whatever. But if you're rude, then you might find yourself very much on your own and probably paying somebody a lot of money to do something that somebody else could probably just show you for fun, and you probably would have made a friend. Also, the biggest and best thing I learned about RVs and things breaking is mobile RV repair. I cannot believe I didn't know about this when I first started. Yeah, those are the bomb, honestly. And when you get to a campground at the front desk, they usually have a list of available ones in the area, and they will come out to you. That way you don't have to stop your trip, detour your trip, go to a dealership. They come out to you, usually for a service fee. Now, my next point. It is a trailer. It is 30 foot by 8 foot. It's a tight space. And some days you're going to have these days where your hands and your feet are just not talking to your noggin. That rhymes. But there are some days I'm walking through here and I'm tripping over everything. My jacket pocket gets caught in every single little handle here. And I just fall and hit things and don't know where I put things and move things, and things fall and spill water all over the place. The dog bowl. Oh, if anybody knows where to put the dog bowl that's not under the dinner table, please let me know, because honestly, everything has fallen in that dog bowl, myself included. I have literally put my freaking foot in the water bowl, and I have dropped keys in the water bowl, and money, and not a phone yet, knock on wood. Ow, noggin. But just sometimes everything is just going to go wrong. You're going to come in here and you're going to be in a rush. You're going to drop everything on the counter and you're going to run back out. And when you come back, it's going to feel like Tasmanian devil just went through your house and freaking had a tornado. So just be okay with dealing with that. I am in no way a neat freak, but I'm very, very tidy. And I do like counter spaces and stuff to be clear and not to have things everywhere. And I cannot stand when there's things on the floor, or even when Cashew is on the floor. He particularly loves to sit in the middle of the hallway here as I'm cooking dinner, and I trip over him constantly. But it really doesn't matter how neat and tidy and clean you are. It's a tight space and things are going to get messy, and just be ready again to take all that with a smile, because if you're not, then you're just going to like really get mad for no reason. heat and the AC. Apparently this is the norm across the border, and I did not know that. I wish I had. I don't think it would have made a difference anyways, but it would have been nice to know. But the heater and the AC are incredibly loud, and I've actually been told that mine is quiet, so I don't really know how that's... Yeah, anyways. Super duper loud. If you're somebody that likes to watch movies and you have the AC going, let me tell you, you will not hear a damn thing. Another thing to note about the AC and the heater is that the filters, you're going to definitely need to care for your filters a lot. I spent the summer in very deserty areas, and so the filter would get really quite nasty, and I'm talking in just a couple weeks. I was cleaning them out all the time. And make sure you also clean out your compressor outside, which is actually really easy. I'll post right here the spray that I found on Amazon. You basically go up there, take out the white cover and spray it down and put the cover back on, turn your AC back on, and the whole condensation thing will just take care of it and clean. I did that maybe 4 times last year, and I actually did it right before I started using the heater. That way it was clean for the winter, nothing built up over the winter. One little piece of advice with the heater is that if it stops working for whatever reason and it's not propane, and you have a dog or 2, or you've been in the desert or 2, your sail switch. It's going to be your sail switch. And it's actually a super easy fix. I was able to do it myself. And if you are still under warranty, you should call Airstream, and they will send you a new one with instructions on how to change it out. It's actually incredibly simple. And all of that will lead me to... customer service. Ding, 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 ding. One thing about customer service in Airstream I have found is that sometimes the dealership is not at all going to be helpful or your best option, or an option at all, honestly. In fact, most of the dealerships I have dealt with have truly not been very great, except for one. And that would be Airstream of New Mexico in Albuquerque. I shall post a video I made of Mr. Andrew fixing my door and many other things right here. He's really great, actually. Most Airstream dealerships are individually owned, so kind of franchisee-like. And so really, if you have a bad experience with the dealership, that should not reflect in any way, shape, or form on the experience you will have directly with Airstream. Airstream actually holds a lot of these dealerships to a certain standard, and sometimes they don't pass the test. I've also heard that the Greensboro, North Carolina one and the Atlanta, Georgia one, I've heard those 2 are probably the top 2 in the country. If you do have an issue before going to a dealership, I highly recommend you call Airstream directly. They have an owner's relations department who are incredibly helpful and so knowledgeable. In fact, a few of them have actually worked at Airstream for so long that they started with building these, and so they know everything inside and out, and there has not been an issue that they have not been able to help me troubleshoot, and most of the times fix myself, which is the best thing. You actually, when you're on the road, your whole goal is to stay on the road and not have to go to a dealership and not have to move out of your rig for a week or 2 or day or 2 to get something fixed. And so this is where they are incredibly helpful. If they can't fix the problem, they can certainly really help in pointing you in the right direction and giving you probably the best advice out there in terms of what you should do next. Another thing I highly recommend is that you look into using a few different Facebook groups. There is one called Airstream Addicts, which honestly has like saved the day so many times. Every time I've posted something on there, they have pretty quickly helped me figure out what the problem was and come up with a pretty good solution. And honestly, in reading other posts, there has been some stuff that somebody else posted about, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. And then I go and look, and obviously this is a thing, and it's a problem I didn't even know I had yet because it hadn't become a problem, but it was something I needed to fix because it was going to get worse. So yeah, definitely Airstream Addict is a huge one to join. Now, of course, you're going to get opinions and opinions and opinions, but you will also get some great advice as long as you do not post about which tow vehicle you should get, or reviewing your tow vehicle, or saying you think your tow vehicle is the best one. Just no tow vehicle conversation whatsoever. It's a for sure way of just like setting things off. And now I might be repeating myself, but be kind. If you are kind and understanding and patient, you'll get the same kind of treatment back. And when things break or you have to deal with customer service things, it is always best to just be kind. If you're going to be a jerk, then whoever's on the other side of the line will not want to help. At the end, with our cancellation policy, for example, if somebody would fight me over the cancellation policy, then I would stick my guns to it a lot more than if you were to call me to cancel and say, I know I'm going to lose my deposit and I understand fully, then I'd be a lot more inclined to actually refund that person than to refund the jerk that's just screaming that he deserves his money back just because he's an idiot and doesn't know how to plan. Yeah. Be kind. And there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this hopefully quick video about the 5 things I wish I'd known before buying an Airstream. And with that, I bid you adieu. Cashew, what you do? Cashew's done. He wants to go for a walk. We're going for a walk. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't done it yet, you should hit that little subscribe button. Ding, ding. It's right there. I know it's there. You and I both know where it is. I'm awkward. I know. Oh my God. Bye.